Hey guys, and welcome to week 3 of AP World History. Between getting this up today and the Pats playing tonight, it's going to be kind of a low budget week for this video. Before I get to your asynchronous work for the week, I want to talk you through some changes that I made to the class website. I'll start in the class information section, which remember you can access through Google Classroom under class resources. You'll notice that now there's a what you need to turn in and how section, which is up top of this page. And I want to point out this was actually a student suggestion. This was not my idea, it was actually one of your ideas. So please keep those great ideas coming. You'll see that you can see the date everything was assigned, when it's due, what the activity names are. There's an activity number, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but you will need to start knowing for some things, and how to turn everything in. Below that, there's an AP World History must-know documents section. And that shows things like the AP World History, historical thinking skills, historical themes, global regions, those kind of things. We'll probably refer to these just about every week because I want you to be very familiar with them, but you may want to review them there now. Below that, there's an essential documents section which has things like the course outline and syllabus, which you've already seen. But there's also a new pacing calendar and textbook correlation chart. We're going to talk about those next week. Now let's go look at Unit 1. So you'll see this looks quite a bit different than it did last week. Up top, it's still just kind of an overview of the unit, but then there's a section that actually takes you to a page for each week of that unit. I'll talk about those in a second. First, I want to show you the recommended resources that are below. I won't be posting mandatory and recommended like I did last week. Instead, I'm just going to have this recommended section, which has every textbook chapter that's relevant to Unit 1, all of these AP World History lectures from the College Board. Now, these are not the same as the AP Daily videos. These are actually a fair bit longer and a fair bit more detailed, obviously. Below that, there's Miss Robinson's videos. She was my predecessor here at Falls Church, so I want to make sure that you have access to her stuff because she was very successful in this class. And then there's things like Heimler's History, Crash Course, National Geographic, I believe, and TED Ed. So yeah, there's a few other options here as you go down. And really my intention here isn't that you're going to review all of this stuff. See, there's also the lectures like I had before. So if you like listening, that's a good way to go too. But remember, the textbook has read aloud, so you can listen to the textbook too. But anyway, my intention is not that you're going to actually watch all of these, but I want to kind of give you a menu to pull from for anything that you may feel like you need to go a little bit deeper on or that you want to learn more about. Okay, so this will give you some things that you can kind of review that are relevant to everything we're talking about here in Unit 1. Now I'm going to take you to the asynchronous work for the week. You'll notice that when this website goes live, week 2 is still not quite completed in the new format, so just bear with me there and I'll let you know when it is updated. But let's go look at week 3. So you'll see it has up top when the week begins and when it ends, as well as which topics are being discussed this week. The first thing you want to do is watch our weekly class video, which is what I'm making right now, so that will be right here. And then you're going to review these 4 documents. The first are the AP World History themes, which we've talked quite a bit about last week, so you should be somewhat familiar with those. And the topic overviews, which if you did your asynchronous work last week, should also be very familiar to you. But I'd like you to review them just so you know what you're expected to know. Then from there, there's 3 quick overview videos that I would like you to watch. They're each about 4 to 5 minutes long, and I'll probably do this every week. I want you to think of this as your kind of pre-work before you get to the actual work, and the idea is that it's going to introduce you to some themes before you really get into the detail, okay? Not just themes, but information, basically. It will introduce you to information before you get into detail. Then below this, you're going to complete at least 1 track. Okay, so you'll see, first of all, there's a videos track. Before I get to that, though, I want to point out that for all tracks, you must take notes, especially this week, because I will be collecting them. I'll talk about that later. Track 1 is videos. These are the AP Daily videos that are assigned in AP Classroom. They're assigned for everyone, but you only must complete them if you're doing the video track. These are produced by the College Board, so these are, again, the people that make the test. Below you'll see that there's 4 more videos that I would like you to watch, and this will just go into kind of more detail on some of the topics we're exploring this week. Next is the textbook track. You'll see that you need to read chapters 14, 18, and 20. Again, this has been assigned to everyone, but you only need to complete it if you're doing the textbook track. There's a chance that the quizzes may be assigned again, but don't worry about that. Those are not required this week, and I'll let you know if they ever are. But this week they are not required, and you can just use these links here to get to the textbook. Next is a new thing I'm adding in, which is slides. And I spent a big part of yesterday updating these slides that are not mine. They're actually someone else's, but they're very comprehensive, but there were quite a few kind of just typos and a few factual errors actually that I found along the way. So I went through them slide by slide, updated them quite a bit, and you'll see that throughout there are key words and key concepts highlighted in pink or written in pink. Those are all the things that you need to know. Okay, those are the things that I'm really highlighting for you to understand that you either need to know this phrase, this place, this person, that kind of stuff. Okay, so that is another option for you. Now, I did make a note below that if you convert these to Google Slides, they will lose some functionality. Okay, they're built for PowerPoint and they work really well in PowerPoint. So I would recommend downloading them and looking at them in PowerPoint. But you can even preview them right here. Then lastly, everyone must do this. So those are the 3 tracks. Now we're back to what everyone must do. Everyone must, before the end of the week, so this is not due on Monday, it's due Sunday at midnight. You must complete in AP Classroom the Unit 1 progress check, the multiple choice questions, the Unit 1 progress check free response question, only Part A. We'll do Part B next week. And then lastly, I want you to turn in your notes for the week, okay? And it says right here they can either be digital or you can take a photo of your handwritten notes, but please make sure that they're pretty legible so I can read them. This is just so I can get an insight into how you're approaching this and maybe give you some tips if I see anything that, kind of stands out. So you're actually going to submit these under the new deliverable submission form, which I'll show you real quick. This was again in response to some students feeling like it was a little unclear how to turn things in. So this will be a very simple way moving forward that most everything will get turned in except things that are like in AP Classroom or the Flipgrid activity in Flipgrid. Those things can't really be turned in elsewhere. But the stuff in Google Classroom and Google Drive, that kind of stuff, can be done here. So what you'll do is you'll select your class period, put in your name. This is where you'll put in that assignment number, okay? And if you ever need to get one, you can go back to that class information tab and you'll see all the assignment numbers right there. And then down here is where you can upload your submission. You'll click that, and if it's from Google Drive, you would click where it says My Drive. Or if it's a Word document or something else on your computer, you'll upload it right here. Then you can just tell me anything else you need to there and submit. So that covers the updates to the website and your asynchronous work for the week. Day 1 this week will really be more like another asynchronous day due to the SATs on Wednesday, and Wednesday being an asynchronous day as a result. If you have period 3 or 7 with me, please do still come on Tuesday, as there will be some instructions at the start of class that you'll need to complete the activity. Those instructions will then be posted for period 2 to watch on Wednesday. The activity we'll be doing will be our first substantial writing activity, and it'll be intended to really kind of introduce you to the long essay question, which is one of the 3 main writing questions you're going to see on the AP World History test. On day 2, we'll start with some small group discussion that will be centered around the questions that you see on the screen right now. So if you're just listening, you might want to look at the screen. And then we'll go into an activity that will give you a chance to get some more insight into the day-to-day lives of the people that lived between 1200 and 1450 in the areas we studied this week. We'll close day 2 with that reflection activity I had hoped to get to last week, which will give us a chance to really reflect on the start of the year and how things are going so far and what we need to do to make this year successful. I hope some of the changes to the website this week helped address some of the concerns you might have had around taking an advanced placement course and the considerable workload that's involved in being successful in one. I also hope it's helped show you that I am listening to you and I certainly will take your advice on board. But I can only make this experience better for you if I know what you need. So please keep the ideas coming. As always, if you need anything, please email me. It's on the screen right now. And otherwise, have a great week. I'll see you in class.